What's up, boys? How's it going?
Yo.
Hey, Songwon. How's it going?
You know, it's gone good. Before we jump into anything, I did ask Twitter for potential topics, and were there any that you wanted to bring up?
You know, I saw this thread about burgers and food, and I'm always down to talk about burgers. I'll talk about burgers all day long. I would start a burger podcast, shit. But yeah, let's talk about burgers. Best burger.
Okay.
Burger theory. So,
are we going straight into it? Or are we just going straight into the burgers?
I'm down with going straight into burgers. Is this limited to like only like what widely available chains, or just what makes the best burger in
let's
general?
talk about the whole gamut, and I'll start with the widely available fast food chains, and what do you look for in a fast food burger?
Okay.
So sure. that's what I'm curious about for you, someone like when you're like, okay, fast food burger, it's one of those days. What's the thing that you look for in that scenario?
For me, well, okay, my answer for favorite fast food burger isn't necessarily what I'm looking for all the time.
Yes,
So, why don't we just start and see where we're at, and we're all gonna share our favorites in a circle.
Okay.
And then let's see where we land.
So we're gonna limit to non-regional chains.
Just anything.
Oh fuck! Really? Wait, how non-regional are we talking about?
If it's only in one state, then that's too regional. If it's in the Southwest, that's okay.
Okay, then I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna get. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna say anything. All right, who's gonna go first?
I'll go first.
Oh, you want to go first, Freddie? Go ahead.
All right, Freddie, what do you got?
For fast food burger, I will go for the McDonald's Big Mac.
Dude, I was right there with you, Freddie. I was gonna say McDonald's Big Mac and the Quarter Pounder. Those two, I was a hipster for a while, thinking there was better fast food of the big four. I was a Carl's Jr. boy at one point. Thought Jack in the Box was that like late night good stuff. But as you grow up and you get mature, you figure out McDonald's knows what they're doing. And straight up, I'd rather have that Quarter Pounder or Big Mac more than most of the quote unquote like fancier chains like In-N-Out and stuff like that. I think at the end of the day, they killed it. They crushed it.
I am gonna get some flack.
Oh no.
Okay.
Let's start an argument right off the bat.
I'm in this energy.
Yeah. My pick is Steak and Shake.
Whoa, that is a left field steak and shake. Wow, I've not heard that. Yeah. That is a name I've not heard in a long time.
Recover in what ways? And you don't like Steak and Shake?
I think I've only had it once. I remember thinking it was fine.
Steak and Shake is solid. Listen, that's a solid regional choice. Steak and Shake, by the way, it's one of those ones where it's like I believe, it's like a Midwest.
There's one up
chain.
in Burbank, right? That's where we had it.
There used to
where the
be
AMC was,
there.
right?
Yeah, that's
yeah. Okay, that's the only time I've ever had it. I remember thinking it was pretty good.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna get some flack because the best way to eat Steak and Shake is not in a fast food context. It is actually to go in and sit down.
So I have a story about Steak and Shake and going down, but that's good. Yes, I agree with you, by the way. I agree with you.
Okay. What's your story?
Okay. So Steak and Shake is the only restaurant I have ever walked out on the bill from.
Oh, no.
So here's the story. This was years ago. I was on a road trip with a friend of mine, and we were in Indiana with another friend of ours, and he was like, let's go to Steak and Shake. And so we're like, all right, cool. And we go to the Steak and Shake. We sit down. It has a very, I would say maybe like a Johnny Rockets feel, right? It kind of has a diner, has kind of like a 50s thing going. I always joke about Johnny Rockets and Steak and Shake. I'm like, yeah, these are the kinds of places, that are nostalgic for a simpler time in America's past when people like me weren't allowed to eat at places like this, right? Like this is what I'm going for. This is what I remember fondly from the 50s. So we're sitting there and we order a thing, everything. We're sitting there, we order shakes, all that stuff. And it's like 10 minutes after we're done, we're looking around, we're like, what happened to our waiter? Where is everybody? And like,
wait, you don't pay at the top?
You can treat it as a sit down proper restaurant. Yeah.
That's rare.
So we're sitting there and we're like, what happened to our waiter? And we're looking at the other tables too. And some of the other tables also, everyone has the same look. They're like kind of like shaking, looking around, and like one person's like looking in the back, and like like 20 minutes go by, 30 minutes go by, and we're like, we're sitting there with our cards. Like, we want to pay. What's going on? Like, we want to get our bill. And like, there appear to be no employees in the Steak and Shake. And then we see someone from another table get up, and they go into the kitchen and like poke their head in. They're like, there's no one here. And like everyone in the restaurant's like, did everyone just leave? So we were like, I guess we should just, so we put some money on the table, and we're like, okay, bye. Like, we don't even know what, like, we were trying to like figure out what it was, and we're like, I guess we can just go, right? This is like when a teacher shows up late and you 15 minutes late, you can just go. We're like, there's literally no employees here. They all left. And we just left.
Wow.
It was the weirdest.
I mean, you still paid. You paid. You didn't walk out on your bill.
Yeah, okay, you paid. You didn't walk out. I was like, you gotta at least pay, man.
We chucked a little bit of cash on the table, but it definitely didn't cover the fees, the steaks, or the shakes in that scenario. I'll be honest here.
I was about to say, Freddie, my favorite part of eating in the Steak and Shake is that there's nobody there to bother me. It's just, it's just it's always a standard that there's no employees.
Yeah.
I will say, my favorite thing about Steak and Shake, and so Matt, since you ate at the Steak and Shake Express, which is
not the same.
That's
not the same.
This is why I'm gonna get flack, because I think the sit down shake and steak experience is excellent. That's like S tier for me.
Really?
Is that fast food? I'm gonna not necessarily.
Oh, I see what you're
right?
saying.
But
it's
but it's like it's a regional chain. It's a fast food place. I've gotten them through the drive-through. They're also very good, but the best one is when it's just like freshly cooked and they bring it to you. And I'll say, I love the smashed patty.
Yes.
Smashed patty.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
I love
that's the way to do it. And for me, I like their patties so much, I just go for a double with just cheese and meat.
That's when you know it's a good burger. I feel like the whole thing about like the gourmet, like big, like beefy burgers, it's just like
if you can't get your mouth around it. If you just like many things, if you can't get your mouth around it, it ain't worth it.
It's not doing it. There's like the smash patties. If you need more, you get 2 smash patties. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yes, exactly.
Now, I feel the same way. Now, in terms of Midwest chains, I have a very soft spot in my heart for Culver's. Is one of my
I was just about to bring up Culver's next.
I think Culver's Butterburger is like of the more regional. So like I would put
so much better than
Five Guys.
In-N-Out.
I would put In-N-Out. I would put In-N-Out in the limited regional burger like areas. I think Culver's is my top tier. Like I love Culver's, and I feel the same way, by the way, that you feel about Steak and Shake, as I do about Red Robin, which is originally a Seattle-based.
I was gonna pivot into
Seattle-based sit-down restaurant.
I was gonna pivot into what are dog shit burgers by talking about Red Robin.
Nobody agrees with me. Nobody agrees with me on Red Robin.
I don't think I've had a Red Robin burger.
Dog shit.
Come on, man. This is like this is the West Coast equivalent of Steak and Shake. It's not dog shit.
To me,
are they smashed? Are they
no,
smashed patties?
The worst.
They do two things. They do two things about Red Robin, okay? Number one. Oh, well, 3 things, because if you're from Seattle, you'll know what I'm talking about. 3 things about Red Robin. Number one, you have a free nostalgia points because Red Robin, there was the original ones in the University District, like under the bridge. You have this sort of like, everybody's had like a sports team that's gone there to celebrate, or a birthday that's gone there. So you get a free nostalgia points. I acknowledge that nobody else has those nostalgia points for this chain. That's fair.
I have that for Round Table Pizza, but I'm not saying Round Table Pizza is good. Round Table Pizza is dog shit.
Now here's the other things that they do, all right? One, they have a pretty good variety of like weirder, like a spicy Southwest sort of thing, Burger King. But the one thing that they will never, that nobody else can beat, is they have unlimited steak fries. You go in and you buy one thing of fries, they refill that motherfucker up until
I thought we were talking about the best
Exactly.
burger.
I'm talking about
not the best.
We've expanded out into
we haven't. And
overall sit-down experience. No.
That tells you what they think.
Steak and Shake has the word shake in it.
That tells you what they think about their burger. Is they got to trick you to come in.
They got to stuff you with shitty potato
fries.
Giant potatoes.
Yeah, so you can't eat it.
Yeah.
Here's what Red Robin is. If you've had a burger like probably Denny's or something, right? Like that's
I know.
That's the lowest form of burger. It's like before the gourmet burger, but higher than the McDonald's burger. The $6 to $7 janky, like kind of pseudo. Like, look, we got big patty and like we're gonna put fresh tomatoes, but
honestly,
it's all crap.
Matt, I'm totally with
you. It's the worst type of burger. Period. Caro's Islands. Red Robin, anything that's like $8 to $10, that's not fucking like, that doesn't have a French name and some aioli sauce on it is bullshit and not worth the money. Go to McDonald's instead.
Okay, look, that's fair, and Matt, you get at one of the baseline things that people don't think about when they think about food in general, which is Sysco.
That's Sysco.
And this is the thing that I've been talking about for years. So Sysco is an American multinational, and they are a restaurant supply company. So in addition to supplying restaurants of all scales, everything from your local mom and pop diner all the way up to national chains, things such as like straws or napkins or silverware, they also have food and like bulk food that you can get. And so most places that you walk into that don't have some crazy supply chain or relationship with some local butcher or some farm thing are pulling their foods from Sysco, which means secretly a lot of the places that you go to are actually just prepping the same food but in a different storefront. When you in Southern California, there's a lot of these like, you know, Tom's Burgers and places like that. Majority of these guys are pulling from a place like Sysco. So you're not actually getting anything different. You're secretly just getting the exact same product, which is why sometimes a lot of these burgers are just like, this is the same thing, which is why I think that's like a big factor in a lot of these places, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, this one, that one is better. It's like, no. If you go behind the scenes and you look at that kitchen, you look at where they're getting their product, it's the exact same product.
But the preparation matters to a degree, right? You give two burger flippers the same ingredients.
Yeah. But the point is, though, there's a homogeny behind the scenes that you aren't seeing. Like, you can look into it and when you can browse the website, there's different.
Is Red Robin Sysco?
So I'm actually,
they should
because
be,
you
if they're
mentioned
not,
that, I was
they taste
looking
like
that
garbage.
up. Incidentally, what is interesting is that there's definitely the executive of Red Robin was a Sysco executive too. So odds are yes.
Yeah.
But here's the point, which is like, one of the things that actually makes McDonald's stand out for me in that way, as weird as it is if you might not like it, at least it's special to McDonald's. And then I will say, Whataburger, which is the Texas, I'm going to get you a lot of flack for this. I think Whataburger's dog shit. I think,
yes.
And Whataburger,
so they don't know what burgers taste like apparently in Texas. Like, it is absolutely the most mediocre, like bottom tier, bad barbecue.
Now,
Just
Whataburger to me exemplifies the Sysco burger baseline. Like, that is exactly it. Is no different. You go to Whataburger and people like go crazy about it. Like, it is no different than going to a random Southern California family owned like regional burger chain here and just getting whatever it is on the menu. It is the exact same too thick of a bun, too thick of a patty, iceberg lettuce, bunch of fucking mayo. Like, it's just the same, or, you know, like the same condiments. It's nothing. There's nothing there. And I know, by the way, that Whataburger is bad. You want to know why I know it's bad? Because when I said I went to Whataburger and I was like, it was bad, the litany of comments from people being like, oh, you didn't get the right thing. I'm like, motherfucker, there is no, if it's good, it's good. If I get the baseline thing that they're selling, if it's good, it's good. If you walk into Culver's.
If I go to a coffee shop and say I got a coffee and it tasted bad, they say, well, you got the wrong thing. It's like, no, I didn't. I got the black coffie. That's just, if it's a good coffee
place. I got
place,
the thing that I wanted to eat, essentially.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Now, if you're coming in and being like, "Oh, I had like the I had the grilled chicken sandwich," and that's fine. But if I'm going middle of the fucking tip of the bell curve, like, what is the thing I'm gonna get? I'm only here once. I shouldn't know that there was a secret menu and I needed to get the Texas toast thing, which is a regional thing. No. That doesn't work. Fuck you.
If your number one's dog shit, then you're dog shit. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? So I'm totally with you guys on. If we're talking, there's a whole different conversation about best chain. I still think it's Steak and Shake because their shoestring fries are fucking great. But
by the way, I really like skinny fries. So Fat Burger is like great. Also high level.
Skinny fries
always get the skinny fries.
Delicious.
It's the ratio of crunch.
I mean, that's the best part about Father's Office, not a chain, but like their skinny fries. I love skinny fries. Are probably my favorite fries to have with a burger. Like, a burger is it's more than a full meal for most normal human beings. It's a lot of food. So like,
in the history of humanity too, by the way.
Small shoestring fries that are essentially giving you like that extra salt and grease, like that's the way to do it. I don't need a freaking potato. I don't need like steak fries with like steak fries make sense with a fried fish, right? It's just a fish. It's got nothing else. So yeah, you get some big ass steak fries with it.
Yeah,
but a burger? Nah, like give me some shoestring fries.
Absolutely unnecessary. So when you're saying unlimited steak fries, which by the way, Fuck steak fries.
Yeah, steak fries are
like
also
one of
the worst fries.
They're like they're the worst, maybe the worst fry.
I would actually say they're the worst way to use potatoes, period. I'd rather just have a boiled potato on a plate with nothing on it than fucking shoestring fry.
Like fucking back in mother country.
The steak fry, yeah, sorry, that is steak fry. I would fucking eat 1,000 shoestring fries right now. Yes.
Right.
You know what it is? I'm going to be honest. You guys talking about this, and listen, I'm a man capable of change. I constantly reevaluate my own belief sets, and I ask myself.
One of the reasons
I
respect
myself.
you, Freddie.
I think I need to reevaluate Red Robin and see how much of this is rose-tinted glasses.
When we are able to, we should all go to a Red Robin.
Oh, I'll go to a Red Robin with you, dude.
I'll go.
I will absolutely. I've never been to one. Are they primarily known for burgers?
Yeah, they're a burger place.
So originally. They've lost a lot of the charm, honestly, the back in the day by doing two decisions. Number one, they got rid of their cool, actual like Red Robin cartoon mascot, which I fucking loved as a kid. And two, they are the vanguard of like the Chili's, Applebee's. Like, hey, do you want to not have to interact with your server and pay with a card on a device, like an iPad device on your table? We're here first. Like, you don't have to talk to anyone, which kind of like loses some of the charm because it was anyway. It is a burger forward place, but they're also like they do crazy lemonades and and the fries and all that stuff.
I seem to remember their burger menu. Just the burger menu felt like fucking Cheesecake Factory, where it was like 10 pages of different burgers. It's one of those places where it's like they have like 1,000 different burgers and it's just variations.
Yes.
It's like the counter, but you don't have the choice to make it yourself, which is like fine.
I see.
No, that's fair. You're fair. That's
going
fair.
back to something you guys were talking about before, like if we're talking about more widely available chains, because Steak and Shake, yeah, that's slightly regional. Culver's, by the way, you get fucking Butterburgers with cheese curds there.
Oh my god, dude! One of the best fucking experiences. By the way, the closest the closest Culver's to here is in Arizona. I stop there anytime I go through Arizona, heading east for whatever. Like I stop at this one, and Matt I think called me. I'm like, no, you don't. I'm like, yes, I fucking do, and I have the receipts.
I don't know why I would have called
literal receipts. Now McDonald's, though, I will say. Yes, I'm totally with you guys. I love McDonald's for exactly the same reasons you were saying, where McDonald's feels distinct. It has a distinct flavor, and that's like ketchup pickle.
Yes,
like,
yes, it is a very sour
pickly.
vinegar. It is a very sour vinegar forward flavor note profile.
But
correct.
I love it, and I think recently I've been a little burnt out just because it's usually like one of my go-tos if I'm gonna have fast food. Right? It's either McDonald's or Jack in the Box. I do like Wendy's a lot.
Wendy's is solid.
I think Wendy's is very solid.
I think they have the best chicken sandwiches of the like big four.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with
spicy
that.
chicken.
Who the fuck gets a chicken sandwich at Wendy's?
Except, by the way, except for literally the only, because they have a whole spicy chicken thing.
Yeah,
at Wendy's.
exactly.
Except I will a special shout out to the only thing I get at Burger King, which is mostly a complete dog shit chain. The weird, super long chicken sandwich.
That original chicken sandwich.
Forever. It's so specific and weird that like you could get rid of the rest of Burger King and they'd be like, we're losing Burger King. We're just long chicken now. Like, you guys can come here for the long chicken.
I feel like
sandwich.
every time the McRib comes out, everybody takes a shit on the McRib, and that fucking weird long chicken sandwich is sitting there 24/7 all year long that people could criticize at fucking Burger King. That weird, and all those guys like
good.
mayonnaise and like a little bit of lettuce.
Yeah,
it's like all
it's simple. It's like Michelin star simplicity, dude. It's great.
To be fair, I used to get a sandwich at Locks as $1, and it's like $1 for like 600 calories. So like,
I'm not gonna lie, that chicken sandwich, I understand you're craving for it because every now and then, of course, I gotta get extra mayo on it because it's the saltiest thing I've ever eaten in my
so
life.
Much mayo on
but I gotta put mayo on it, more extra mayo, because then it's like edible to me. But Burger King is absolutely
really bad.
Like bottom tier. I like the Whopper.
The Whopper's not bad,
and even then I'm like, this is.
But between to me the equivalent,
fries are terrible.
Yeah, and the equivalent of the Whopper to me is like the Carl's Jr. baseline, which is like I'll take the Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take the
Burger
famous
King
star
one.
over the Whopper too. Like,
Now here's the thing. Really quick. Now when I talk about fast food chain, the thing to me that I think is the most important trait is what I call repeatability. Because when you're talking about a place like McDonald's or so and so, where you're on a road trip and there's one every 15 miles or whatever, if you don't have repeatability as one of these places, you're dead. Like, and there's such a thing as getting sick. Everybody's experienced this when they go to a new office or when they move to a new place. They try out all the restaurants around them, and pretty soon some of the restaurants just like, I don't want to go there anymore. I'm sick of it. And that's the thing about McDonald's is I've never been sick of McDonald's, even though I've been eating it like since I was a little kid, like my whole life. Whereas I've gotten sick of Burger King. I've gotten sick of Jack in the Box in college when it was like. And by the way, Jack in the Box is one of those restaurants that's like I call them vampire restaurants, which is during the day you don't go there, but it hits 2 a.m. and all of a sudden it's the best restaurant in the world. All of a sudden 2 a.m. you're like, dudes, your tacos are the best tacos I get around. I don't know what to tell you. Jack in the Box got good tacos. But then you cut to like 8 in the morning the next day, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? This is terrible.
We also haven't gone to like, I mean, I know we're on burgers, but if we just take 1 second since we're on McDonald's to talk about the fries, like I've been lucky enough to be able to, you know, throughout my life, whether it's for, you know, getting invited to dinners because of the industry we're in or, you know, anniversaries and stuff. You know, I've been to like, you go to enough fancy restaurants and eventually you'll find like, oh, this is like the fancy, better version of like this food. I have never tasted a fry that's as good as McDonald's. Like, it doesn't matter how much, like, they have figured out the perfect fry on the planet. It doesn't matter how many Michelin stars you have, what chef you are. You can fucking try to slice a potato and fucking put the truffle you like pulled out of the garden, you know, that morning, and still is not going to be as good. And the thing is, everybody knows it. Like, every chef will be like, yeah, I'll eat fucking McDonald's fries all day long. Like, it's the best. Like, somehow they made the best fries too. So, you know, all the power to them. I
agree with you. Yeah, they are top tier.
I mean, I'll take
Wendy's. You know, I'll give Wendy's. Wendy's to me has the best non-burger menu out of the widely available fast food chains. Like, I love the chili. Even everyone's like, oh, it's just ground up. It's just they take the burger.
I like the chili
yeah,
too.
the chili's good, dude. And then you can pair the chili with the chicken nuggets. You dip them chicken nuggets in the chili, dude. Like decadence, combining two animals in a way God never intended for you to do.
Wendy's is the only place you could go. They changed it because their dollar menu because, like, you know, inflation and like the dollar menu is worse now. But back in the day, like, you could go to Wendy's and spend like $6 on 6 items and none of them were burgers and they're all incredible. Like, you could just go there and have like a little fucking like tapas menu of like baked potato and chili
very important
and a frosty.
Back in the day, yeah.
Chicken nuggets.
There's variety. Yeah.
Yes, variety. And by the way, there is no greater place for variety than Taco Bell, in my opinion. Like, I go to, like, most places, I'll get the number 6, I'll get the number 1. Taco Bell, I roll up to that drive-through window and I order like I'm a fucking king. I'm like, I'll have 1 of these, 2 of these, so and they're like, that'll be $43. I'm like, yes, put it all in. And they're handing me 2 bags through the window because it's just like the delectable menu of delights. And Taco Bell and Wendy's, by the way.
By the way, I will say, Freddie, when you order Taco Bell a few times, because when we would work late, like editing and stuff, Freddie always wanted to go to Taco Bell, and that's straight up what would happen. He would drive, there'd be like 4 people in the car. He'd drive up to the menu, and then he would just like be ordering all this shit. Like, I'll take this, this, and this, and this, and we're like, okay, cool. I guess we're just like eating family style. And then he stops, like, all right, what do you guys want? It's like, what the fuck did Freddie just order? He ordered like 7 tacos.
Freddie, you and I are kindred spirits in that way. Like, yeah, okay. So I want to know, like, okay. Because I think hearing people's orders is very interesting.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Why don't we do let's start with Taco Bell.
What
is your Taco Bell order?
All right. Start off all the time, 2 tacos, 2 regular crunchy tacos as the baseline. It's the fucking
waste of
appetizer.
Calories.
It is the no. You know what it is?
What were you gonna say?
No, I'll hear you out.
Were you gonna say you agree?
I agree with you, Matt. But here, I
don't want to ruin. Let me hear the Freddie experience.
The boy goes to Red Robin. Listen, let's hear him talk.
Here's why. I need to prepare my palate for the sodium assault that is about to happen, and you can't just dive straight into the greater menu items. I have to be like, I need to temper this with a little bit of shitty iceberg lettuce and some tomatoes, and hot sauce level, it's got to be hot or fire, or like the 2 higher levels has to be.
Do they have tomato? They don't even have tomatoes on them.
I love
if you do the super tacos.
I love that
right,
Freddie's amuse-bouche before, just to get his.
Yes, my amuse-bouche is 2 regular tacos.
To get yourself ready for the sodium that's gonna come. It's like already
Correct.
320 calories, like just to prepare
when I
for
go
what
to
you're
Taco
about
Bell,
to order.
When I go to Taco Bell, I eat for a family. It is a family restaurant because my stomach is the family. Okay, number 1.
Okay,
so
2 tacos. What's after 2 tacos?
All right, so here and then depending on the mood, here are the other candidates that get thrown into there. Nachos Bel Grande, fucking great. Like I love their ground beef, of course. Baja Chalupa every single time. A single Baja Chalupa. The Chalupa is a work of art to begin with. The Baja sauce. Most places actually don't do it. They don't actually do Baja Chalupas anymore.
Yeah, I don't
so
know
you
what
have
this
to
is.
you have to ask for it, and the places that know will know. That means just throw the Baja sauce in there.
What is Baja sauce?
It's like a ranch
It's good.
equivalent.
I get the same thing.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
spicy ranch equivalent. Baja
legit,
Chalupa.
okay.
And they don't have it. If they don't have it, you have to sometimes explain to them. It's like, no, just throw the Baja sauce in there, and they'll be like, got it. You know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm going to take this order seriously. Nachos Bel Grande. Mexican pizza, which kills me that they got rid of, because I loved the Mexican pizza at Taco Bell. I get the Mexican pizza. I do.
You order everything I don't even think about ordering. This is so interesting. Please continue, please. Not in a bad way either. I'm just fascinated.
I do. Again, if I'm feeling it, I'll do a Crunchwrap Supreme. Is a candidate. It's either a Crunchwrap Supreme or a steak quesadilla specifically. But one of those two will usually be the axis upon which that my decision goes off of. And then they no longer have the grilled stuffed burrito, but then one of the burritos, either the 7-layer or when they were still doing it, the Doritos in there. And then if I'm feeling fucking wild, I'll do one Doritos Locos.
Okay.
No drink. I usually won't get. No, here's what's okay. The most decadent I've ever done is there was our office was in Burbank. There's a Taco Bell next to a McDonald's. I would go to the McDonald's to get their Coke and then go to the Taco Bell to get the food. Like, because the McDonald's Coke hit different. McDonald's Sprite hits different. McDonald's Coke hits different.
Oh yeah, yes. Fountain soda, Fountain Sprite absolutely is like top tier.
And then occasionally cheesy gordita crunch.
Okay.
Do you want to go next on one?
And that's my psychopathic order. You might let me go next on one. I'm gonna just quickly calculate. I don't think I've ever calculated the calories on that.
So do you want to go next?
Okay, yeah. I'll go next. Okay, if I'm like, ooh, time to be a fatty boy. All right, let's see. Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yes. Solid.
Steak quesadilla.
Ooh, yep.
Because I love the steak quesadilla.
The steak quesadilla is so good.
Cheesy gordita crunch.
Interesting.
Nacho cheese Doritos Locos Taco. If I'm feeling like I would just want to fuck myself up, those cinnamon ball things.
Oh, yes. You go for the sweet. You go for the sweet on top of the savory. Interesting.
I'll do it. I'll split it usually, but if I could go for like at least 1.5 of those big cinnamon.
No, they're fucking good as hell.
I've never had anything sweet.
I used to have the cinnamon twists all the time.
I think cinnamon twists are always.
They are. They're fucking air. They're just bad versions of cinnamon toast crunch.
Cinnamon pork rinds or something.
The cinnamon delights are amazing.
That sounds better than what those are. And then I get a Baja Blast. That's
Baja Blast. Yeah. No. If you're gonna do anything, you have to do the Baja Blast.
I am a fan of Manzanita Sol, though.
Oh yes. The left field regional favorite. Yes, very good.
So I think that's my go-to order. Although toasted cheddar chalupa, guys,
that's solid.
I mean,
I've not had this one yet.
What?
Toasted cheddar chalupa.
Very good.
It's if you like the chalupa, the toasted cheddar chalupa. It's just like this decadent, like super rich, cheddar crusted chalupa shell.
Yeah,
it is.
They take the chalupa
amazing.
and then they add like 180 calories of cheese onto the shell before they bake it.
Oh, if they can throw the Baja sauce on that, baby, I'm in.
I was just about to say, dude, throw the Baja sauce on that. That would be decadent.
Other places, I have a very strict order of like where I order. Pretty much, I know exactly what I'm getting. I'm an adult. I figured out what I like. I get what I have a very specific order at all the other fast food places. But Taco Bell is always an adventure. It's strict, but it's like
it's a journey.
It's a journey.
Time.
First, I got this. It's 3 acts. First, I got the standard, the Crunchwrap Supreme. I always order it. It doesn't matter. That's what I'm getting. That's going in my mouth first too. It's the first thing I eat. Then the second is kind of like the mood of the day, like how am I feeling? And I got a few things I either go with. It's either my favorite is probably the cheesy gordita crunch. I might do a chalupa instead, and every once in a while, yes, the steak quesadilla. But that's like the secondary. The third thing, and I feel this is important at Taco
Third
Bell.
Third course.
I always order 3 things when I go to Taco Bell, always, which I'm looking at the concept.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The third thing, I like to give back to Taco Bell, and I like to make sure that the people who are working on the fucking new recipes and the PR team, I feel like I owe it to them.
Oh, you'll go
to
for
try
the new,
what they're
whatever
selling.
new thing.
So I always get whatever's on the board. I always look at whatever is the big thing they're selling, and I just look at them and say, "Yeah, God, I'll just try that." It's great if it's a new thing. Sometimes they're just like, "You know what? We got to push the chalupa again. Like we're going chalupa crazy." But whatever it is,
even if it's an old
item. I just gotta support them, and it's just like I'm easy to sell to. So I just get whatever's on. I just get whatever's new, whatever wild thing they've cooked up. So those are the 3 things I always get.
Can I say maybe the saddest thing I've ever ordered at Taco Bell?
What?
Oh, by the way, I just did the math. About 3,000 calories. What I just described.
Even just getting 3 things is like already.
That's
already like 1,500 calories
clear.
plus a.
So to be clear,
fucking Mountain Dew, that's what 32 ounces.
Based on my current caloric burn right now, that should in a survival scenario tide me over fully for 2 days. The saddest thing I've ever ordered at Taco Bell, I got a taco party pack for myself.
How many tacos is that?
12 tacos.
Holy shit, that's great.
6 hard, 6 soft. You know, you kind of can go one-on-one. In college, a friend of mine who does video games now, he and I were really a big fan of the Del Taco Taco Tuesdays. And at a certain point, we were like, yo, how many do you think we can do? And so we're like, let's go. So we went to Del Taco, and we got like 60 tacos. And we're like, let's go. And and he beat me by 1 taco, but we both were able to eat. I think it was like 23 to 24 tacos in a single sitting. And we were like, kill us. Kill us now. It was the worst I've ever felt. After a meal.
I thought you were going to say the saddest. Look at this
tacos.
menu, because they actually have a value menu, which seems like crazy, because I feel like everything at Taco Bell is like
value,
$1.
baby.
But there is like $1. They have a thing that's just a cheesy roll-up, which is just the tortilla.
I was going to say, the cheese roll-up is like the saddest fucking
this
thing
picture, they
on
can't
that
even
menu.
like make it look nice for, they hire people to like get that shit to look as good as possible. And even their picture just looks like
It looks like a limp
it looks like
stick.
somebody dropped a tortilla on the ground.
The best thing here is if you go to their group menu item, which is as an individual browsing is pretty sad. The nachos party pack comes with literally a sodium warning. It says sodium warning on it with a little icon of a salt shaker, and I see that. That looks like that's a triangle in the shape of a yield sign. That's wrong. That's a go. That's go, baby. It should be an octagon in the form of a stop sign, but it isn't for me.
High sodium.
Okay, so one more order question. Right. Honestly, if we talk about fast food,
I was like, we were trying to think of all the stuff to talk about.
No, I don't care. I've absolutely done this with people. It doesn't matter. What is your McDonald's order?
So I've had to cut back on this one, but it's one of 2 things. I either go for, if you're saying if they had the Freddie Wong meal in the same way they had the Travis Scott meal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what's the Freddie Wong meal?
The Freddie Wong meal is as follows. The Freddie Wong meal is a Big Mac, large, with 4 chicken nuggets and the sweet and sour sauce, no ketchup, large Coke.
That's it?
It's very simple. Yeah. Listen, I'm a simple man. I'm like a monk, dude.
So Taco Bell, you order enough for like 2 families, but at
Correct.
McDonald's, all you need is the large meal.
McDonald's a temple. You worship there. You don't fucking worship. You don't disrespect it like Freddie does Taco Bell.
Maybe I disrespect all the fast food I eat then. Maybe you should go next, man.
Like now I have a very specific order at McDonald's. Like definitely I used to do the thing, especially during college, where I'd order like a double. I'd order like a few things off the dollar menu to go along with my, like number 1 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
With a lot of like chicken nuggets. But now like I just like to go and I order either 2 things, either a Big Mac meal or a quarter pounder, and then I get an apple pie. And that is like...
Oh, apple pie. Okay.
Their apple pie is also fucking fantastic. Good-ass apple pie.
It is good.
Yeah. And then if they have a special holiday pie, I don't replace the apple pie. I just add that baby. It's 2-pie day. It's apple pie. It's apple pie and strawberry cream day, or apple pie and pumpkin day. You never know. So yeah, that's the treat going at McDonald's. You know what? I am a simple gullible man for marketing. If you make something a holiday item, like like if you are fucking doing peppermint cake pops at Starbucks or whatever, I'm probably gonna order it. So yeah, that's how it works.
I always try the new shit, I think. So I'm with you there. Okay, well, time for me to be the Freddie. Okay.
Hit me, baby.
Here's a so I like the Big Mac a lot, and I like the Quarter Pounder. But you know what is my sandwich of choice? The Filet-O-Fish.
Holy shit, the Filet-O-Fish. Holy shit.
As a lapsed Catholic, the only connection I have with my religion is when it's fucking Lent
Friday.
And they started selling the Filet-O-Fish on sale. I started doing 4 of those for a meal. It's like all right, just pile them up. Give me 4 Filet-O-Fish. No, I hear you. That's an underrated sandwich.
I fucking love that nasty cheese-covered tartar sauce fish square with the squishy but it's all perfect.
It's so squishy. It all becomes the same texture the moment your mouth closes around it. It's just
it just becomes sweet cheesy fish, baby. They should call it the sweet cheesy fish because that's what it is, and I love it. Like I think part of it might be because my dad's a vegetarian, so like he would always get the Filet-O-Fish if he had to eat at McDonald's, and I was like, oh, can I try that? And I was like, whoa, what? Sweet cheesy fish, I probably said as a child. Like, and so I get the sweet cheesy fish. I get obviously fries, Sprite, sometimes a Coke, but I'm gonna say a Sprite. For the
you gotta go with the white wine when you finish. I get it.
For the someone show meal, and then I'm gonna go. Ooh, this has changed over the years, but because I like their burgers, throw in a regular cheeseburger.
Just a straight regular cheeseburger, dude. I'll do the two. I'll do the 2 cheeseburger one if I'm feeling crazy, dude. If I'm feeling like
because I want that pickly ketchup.
Yeah, that pickly
I want that.
Is good as hell.
It's so good. So I want that flavor. I want that, and then, if I'm feeling really, really good about myself, like chicken extra mayo.
Ooh,
the chicken sandwich.
God, you and the mayo, dude. I never would have.
I love mayo.
Now I will say this. Just to speak of your people broadly. There's a lot of mayo in Korean stuff, I've noticed.
In Korean stuff? That's usually in Japanese stuff.
Oh no, you're right. The Kewpie, yeah, that's right. The Kewpie mayo is the Japanese stuff. You're right. Never mind.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're the same as the Japanese?
I'm so glad that me, the one white guy here, did not say this.
Oh no.
It's a very complicated
as a very respected State Department diplomat once said, the Japanese are, let's be frank, nobody's friends in that region. So there's a lot of history there. I do not wish to cross that line, but interesting.
I mean, Kewpie mayo is delicious. I totally get it.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's like
I
fucking
get it.
awesome.
100%.
But like, yeah, I love mayo. For me, the gold standard is Hellman's, or what's it called here? It's called something else here.
Was it like the classic?
No. Hellman's is called something on the West Coast that's different.
Best Foods.
Yeah, Best Foods. That threw me off.
Yeah, we get Best Foods.
Yeah, that's like a straight down the middle fastball. Like, yeah, it'll work at a cookout. It'll work in some weird salad thing you're doing. It's a good mayo.
I think this is gonna be the food episode, and I don't care. What is the goat? What is the best mayo?
The best mayo.
So, like, here's the thing. I do have a hand immersion blender. So if I do mayo for like a BLT, I'll just do.
Freddie made mayo for a BLT.
No.
And it was really good. I think because I think when people talk about mayo being like bland, it's like a good mayo should have some kick to it, right? It's got a little vinegar. It's got that little sharp bite. So, like, if you do that right, it's
I know,
delicious.
Obviously, if you fucking hand blend mayo, that's the best mayo. Okay, I'm asking Fran, what is your go-to?
I mean, we use Best Foods.
Okay.
That's what we buy. It's not Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip is fucking
not Miracle
garbage.
Whip.
I was going to say, I'm in good company here. I was like,
I will go for Best Foods.
I'm going to cut this podcast short if either of you are going, Miracle Whip is your go-to.
Honest. Oh, no. And honestly, the moment you get into kind of this more classy, like, ooh, Sir Kensington's or whatever, I'm like, there is I feel this way, like, about banh mi sandwiches. I had a fancy banh mi sandwich, like, from a really nice place, right? And I was like, this is good. All the pieces of this are good. I can't deny that this is a good thing that I'm putting in my mouth. However, part of the flavor of a good banh mi sandwich is the fact you are standing in a Southern California place and you spent $1 on it, and then you're in a parking lot of a strip mall.
You're next to a laundromat.
That is, and a Chinese-owned donut place. Like, that is part of the flavor of the banh mi, is the cheapness of it. And I think that's true of a lot of the stuff like mayo or ketchup. Like, it's not about getting it like the super perfect fancy version of it. Sometimes the flavor of it is the cheapness of it, and that's what you're getting.
Kiwi mayo is good, but it's not going to be my go-to. You know, it's like a sometimes one.
Exactly, and that's a key. Yeah, that's the key. It's about the repeatability of it. It's about the repeatability and what can you just like not get sick of.
See, that's what I was getting at with the burgers. Always the middle ground. It's like if you're just trying to do the thing like a McDonald's a little bit better, then I feel like you're missing like the key element of it. You have to like essentially transform it into something new. Like that's why you gotta get to like the Father's Office burger or do something very different if you're gonna do something like
otherwise it becomes just a novelty. So I will say there's a place here in LA called Burgers Never Say Die, and they don't advertise it this way, but it is kind of, if you're kind of like, you kind of read between the lines, what they're doing is they're trying to recreate the original McDonald's burger as it would have been back in the day with the Kroc brothers, and still using beef tallow for frying the fries right. So if you haven't done it, you should try it. And what is interesting is you do it and you're like, this is good. This is really good. This is like the idealized cheeseburger, or the idealized McDonald's, vinegar forward cheeseburger or quarter pounder. And then you're like, at a certain point, you're just like, do you want to go there again, or do you want to go to just regular McDonald's? You're like, I kind of want to just go to regular McDonald's. As weird as it is, it's like, it's a novelty and it's interesting, but it doesn't have the repeatability. If you haven't been there yet, someone's in Glendale, it's great. Awesome. You should give it a shot.
I will say, going back to my fave Steak and Shake, though, that is, for me, there is repeatability there, because in Michigan, there was one right next to Anne Marie's apartment. We went all the time, and let me tell you, it was always as good. Not just the burger, the fries. I mean, the shakes. They had like a cookie butter shake. I don't know. That was seasonal, but still very fucking good. Like.
But that makes it better. That's like, because when it comes back, it's like seeing an old friend. You're
Matt, at some point, if we're ever in a situation where we can eat at a actual sit down Steak and Shake,
we're doing steak and
actual
shake.
proper.
Where is the closest one?
I don't know. That's the thing.
Oh, we'll find it.
I'm looking. All
right, we're gonna do a Red Robin Steak and Shake. We're gonna do like a little tour, like a fucking tour.
I'll go to Red Robin once more. I've teased Freddie a few times back in our day going to Red Robin. I'll do it once more for you to try it, and then
if he's picking Red Robin, I'm picking Steak and Shake. And what's your like?
Yeah, what's yours? Your guilty one, Matt. You can't. No man is without.
Hey,
sin.
mine's not a guilty one. I'm showing it off, and you're showing off Red Robin to us, right? You're gonna show us why we love it.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean,
I'm taking a slight step back, but sure.
I don't know. I think about
is there like a chain that's dear to your heart that neither Freddie or I, or at least one of us, is not familiar with?
No, just McDonald's. I mean, the only place, but it's not. I mean, Freddie's been there. There's a place near my house called High Life Burgers in South Pass.
High Life. Okay, yeah.
And like, I would take you there. That was like the place to go in middle school, and it still is like the place to go in middle school. You go there. Well, not anymore, because we're all in a hellscape right now. But it used to be that there'd just be all middle schoolers there all the time. It's like where you go. It's also like next to some soccer fields, so you always go there. But it's essentially what Freddie was saying. It's a very much like a big Cisco. It's just a Cisco burger, but they're big ass portions. But they're good. You know what?
You'll go in there and you'll be like, this is basically a more honest Whataburger. And you know what? Because of that, I give it points.
Yeah, I like it.
The closest.
Actually,
so there's one.
Now my wife really likes it. Like, she hadn't had it for like years, and finally she got it. Now every once in a while she just orders it from DoorDash.
Wow.
And it's like, still good.
There's one in Santa Monica. I don't know if I trust it. It's closed. There's a Steak and Shake though for sure in Vegas.
Okay.
Like, this is where we're
gonna fly out to Vegas.
So. We're gonna fly out to Vegas on a private jet, that private jet company, just for Steak and Shake, and we're gonna come back.
I want to go to Culver's.
Culver's is so good.
So good.
In Michigan, there was one right by the movie theater, like the local, and also movie tickets were so much cheaper there. So it was like, hey, pay $5 for a movie, then afterwards let's hit up Culver's. Oh my god, that was the life.
How do you feel about Father's Office?
I don't know what that is.
I don't think he's. I don't think he would have had the timing because Father. Okay, so Father's Office is like has been.
We're gonna do Father's Office.
Yeah, that's yours, Matt. That's yours. Father's Office. Yeah. Father's Office is a regional. It has 2 locations here in 3 locations here in Southern California. In LA, it is like a brew, like a ton of beers kind of place. It's a fancy
bar essentially.
But they do a burger that has been for the longest time pre-umami burger, like considered like the baseline nice LA burger.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
You know what, umami, since there seems to be a backlash against umami burger, I guess that's my thing.
I like umami burger too.
Burger.
Yeah.
I used to go to umami burger before the pandemic and before I was trying not to eat as horribly. I would probably hit umami burger like every week. Like I like it a lot. I like it more than most of the other fancier places like around.
I'm not a diehard fan, but honestly, I like the gimmick. I love umami flavor. I think it's a cute, gimmick. And I think they're pretty. Their
fries are good. Yeah. Their fries are good, and their fries are good.
They got fries, yeah. They got a good amount of variety of burgers without going fucking Red Robin with like Southwest.
You know what it is. You know what it
thing.
is. This is something I'm realizing like literally right now. When a restaurant, and this is like a turning point in a restaurant, when a restaurant starts to show up in an airport food court. Like umami has an airport food court thing. Like the moment that happens, I think something fundamentally changes or had to have changed about that restaurant in order to work in an airport setting. And I feel like that change cascades across the entire thing. Cause I've seen a couple of places where it's like, ooh, like I've heard like Egg Slut, which is like a, egg sandwich place, breakfast sandwich place here. Like they're in an airport now. And it's like, it's like something, it's not the same. It's just kind of like a little bit worse now,
I sent a picture of the Father's Office burger to you, Song One. So for people who don't know that, it's what's different about it. It's a very
sweeter
nice,
than you
thick patty spice, but then it's got the only thing on it is like a type of, I don't know what the cheese
like a blue
is.
cheese.
It's a Maytag blue. It's Maytag blue.
Maytag blue cheese, and then it's got like an apricot like jam.
Nope.
It's got like a sweet. What is it? It's like a sweet jam.
It is
You know it.
Yeah, it is a chopped onion balsamic vinegar reduction. So it is
it's very
tangy
sweet.
It's a tangy sweet like onion compote that is paired with rocket arugula. So there's a little bit of bitterness,
a
little bit of bitterness and pepper from that, and then the blue cheese, which has a little bit of funk to it. It is a really interesting. I really like it.
Sounds fucking delicious, honestly.
They don't allow you. There's no modifications. They don't have any other type of burger. For a while, when it was like not as popular, it was like a gimmick. It was like if you ask for anything, they'll be like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Like this is the burger. It's made perfect. Wow. That's how it is. And it's still like that. You can't.
So that's the only thing you can order.
And they got shoestring fries, and they got incredible.
So it's that burger
fries.
and just shoestring fries, and that's it.
That's
and you got to order them separately.
Awesome. Oh my god. Yeah. I absolutely need.
And they got. This. We're gonna go. We used to go after like film shoots all the time because again, good beer selection is what it also is. It's like a beer snob place as well, like very good craft brews and stuff like that. And then they got the burger, and then they got like some fancy ass appetizers that are like all $20. That tastes good, but not worth it. You just get the burger and fries.
And this is a really specific thing. They have. What is it called? I think it's called Yum or something like that. It's a kind of lemon lime soda from the Northeast. It's one of the only places that actually sells it. So they actually do have a kind of interesting bottle soda selection too.
Yeah, Freddie's a big soda boy.
That's our next. Our next topic right here. Okay, so.
Oh my God, this could be Freddie could do a podcast about soda, like an entire show.
I'm very curious. Then, what's the best soda?
So again, that's like asking what's the best wine. What are you pairing it? What are you doing? Like again, to speak about repeatability, Mexican Coca-Cola is a solid, straightforward.
That's a
repeatable
good choice,
soda. And maybe more so than any other like fast food or junk food thing, candies or what have you. Soda, you can get sick of a soda so fast that it's crazy, and they know it too because you see.
It's like the pancake of drinks. It's like after one, it's like. You may never want it again.
Yeah, and there's so many of these sodas too that you'll see them when you go to like the fizz stops or whatever the hell those things are called that are like the novelty, like get it? It's like a Thanksgiving thing,
Jones
or it's like a blue raspberry or whatever.
Right.
And you buy exactly one, and that company knows they sell you exactly one, and you never buy it again.
Sure.
Soda has some regionality to it too. So we're talking about Midwest. You have your Green River up over there, which is real nice.
What the fuck is Green River?
Like it is a flagrantly disgusting looking green soda that was based in Chicago. That they can still get here. The Orca Bottling Works up in the Pacific Northwest does a lot of these revivals. They take a lot of these old brands and they redo them. And what you find is sodas are fun just because it's like you'll have like one or two, but like at a certain point you just don't repeat them. And there's very few repeatable sodas. And the ones that are repeatable sodas, they're the ones that are being sold everywhere right now.
What does Green River taste like?
Green River's like a very hard lemon lime, super, super tangy lemon lime.
Someone, have you been to Galco's?
No.
You gotta go there. So Galco's is a famous soda pop shop. It's just soda. It's like a warehouse size.
Wow.
Like just soda. This guy's obsessed with soda. You could probably find every once in a while they do an interview with him on like fucking, you know, like Good Day LA or some shit because he's been around forever.
Sure.
But it is like Freddie goes there whenever he can. It's like you can find. I mean, there's hundreds. Like you could get everything there.
Holy shit!
And they have all the regions. This place, it's in Pasadena. They have, as they say, 108 different diet sodas.
Yeah,
cream soda, 68. It's just 700 different sodas, 108 diet sodas, 68 cream sodas, 61 different root beers. By the way, I did a test. All the root beers basically the same.
No, how dare you? How dare you get out of here? Because my favorite type of soda is root beer, and root beers taste very different. First of all, you got entire different segments. You got licorice style. You got root beers that taste like licorice. You got root beers that taste very vanilla-y, and then you got root beers that are very honey based. So you got like 3 different types of root beer.
The vanilla
They're
honey
completely
archetype
different.
are basically the same.
Oh, really? Really? If I give you vanilla ice cream and then you ate a fucking honeycomb, you'd be like, hey, this was the same flavor. Get the fuck out.
No, but they're the same level of like smooth, sweet.
Mr. Drinking like 3 different types of lemons and you're saying root beer tastes the same? Get out.
What is the best root beer?
Matt, I'll leave it to you. I'm not a root beer fan.
I fucking love root beer. So I like stuff. So first of all, of root beer is actually like birch beer more than root beer, which is like another family member of the root beer family.
Okay.
I like Barking Dog. Is good. I used to get there's Harry's is like one that you can get around here. That's solid. I don't like any of the main ones, Barks and fucking A&W. Though A&W at an A&W is good.
Yes,
when
an
they do
A&W
a draft.
at an A&W with a mug is pretty fucking
Which, by the way,
good.
A&W root beer and Barks root beer taste nothing alike. Just to disprove Freddie's
Yeah,
point.
because those are the two archetypes. It's either creamy cream soda vanilla or spicy bite like Barks.
There's a whole range. Those. I mean, to be fair, I've pretty much cut out soda in the last like few years of my life. Pretty much I just drink. Now I only drink Coke Zero. So pretty much everything tastes like battery acid to me because that's all Coke Zero tastes like. But it used to be I used to love Coke Zero. Now they changed it to Coke Zero Sugar for some fucking reason, which does not taste as good as Coke Zero. And I thought maybe I was just like, you know, being nostalgic about it when they like got rid of it. But then I was driving to Vegas and I stopped at like a random gas station and they happened to have like a few Coke Zeros left. This was like months after Zero Sugar, and I had it and I was like, nope, it was like 1,000 times better. But yeah, root beer. And then birch beer is essentially root beer, but it's like a lot. It's like minty, like not minty, but it's like that kind of like sharp, minty, fresh, like sort of taste. I love. Have you never had birch beer?
I don't think so. No.
I'm gonna bring you some birch beer, and even within birch beer, you got red type of birch beer, you got white birch beer, and those have a different thing, kind of cherry-esque, like and creamy, delicious.
Damn. So are you this much of an expert on other sodas or just root beer?
Only root beer. Freddie's the expert on sodas. Freddie, and even then, I just like root beer. Freddie, like he said, Green River. Like Freddie, if Freddie, like name, I don't know, what are your favorite fucking?
I will say this.
Sodas?
This is my
so many.
So, I mean, there's Yum Bubble Up's probably the top one as far as the lemon lime stuff goes. I actually is a weird out of the blue choice, and I acknowledge it's not generally considered good. But there's a Coca-Cola brand soda called Limca, which is in India only, that has kind of a very strange kind of like flavor profile to it, but it really pairs well with different foods. So like as far as the lemon lime soda goes, there's a range of stuff, but it also depends on kind of what you're doing with it. But like soda's a weird one. I mean, here's the thing that I can brag about with soda, which is we did a blind taste test of Coca-Cola in a bottle, in a plastic bottle, and from a can. And I was able to identify it greater than statistically random.
Wow.
Freddie can tell. Okay, so when Freddie says he drank Coke, like First of all, Freddie can also tell if you give him 2 cups with Diet Coke poured in and Coke poured in, he'll instantly grab the Coke because he can tell the difference in bubbles.
Oh my god!
Bubbles with Diet Coke is different.
Yeah, the fizz is different.
Holy shit!
When we were back, when we lived, like when we were still doing like YouTube stuff, we were like living in like a warehouse. Freddie, when he would edit, I shit you not, he would go through like 3 2-liter bottles of Coke,
like soda,
like nonstop. He drank soda was his replacement for water, but like not like a normal person drinks water, like somebody training for a marathon drinks water. Like he was just drinking.
By the way, I remember
like,
hearing someone being like, if you only drink soda, you'll die of dehydration. I have empirical proof that that's not true.
And I remember when we were getting ready to go to the road trip, like Freddie was like, okay, if I cut out soda, I would probably start losing like 10 pounds a day because I guarantee you like all my calories are coming from soda. And he went like cold turkey and just cut out soda. I've never seen somebody have the same sort of headache. I shit you not, I think you were like bedridden for 2 days. Like he was just rolling around on the couch moaning because he had so much caffeine for so long of his life that your blood vessels must have been like the size of a fucking like just microscopic.
Yeah,
just blood pulsing through your tiny veins as it thickens back up to the normal amount that a blood should be. It was fucking ridiculous.
Damn.
You drink so much Coke. So yeah,
it was quite a bit.
How about you, Sam? Are you soda? You into soda?
Not as much as you freaks. Okay. Like I'm trying to think if there's any interesting soda opinions I have.
But what's your go-to? It's like if you Sprite. It sounds like.
It depends. I think it's been Coke lately. Just because I like Coke, but Sprite is like the go-to usually for like just a nice, refreshing. It's gotta be. I don't like Sprite. I only like Sprite in fountain drink form.
Yes.
In a can, in a bottle, bottle is the worst. Like for me, Sprite in the bottle is the worst. Can is fine.
Bottles are always the worst. I think.
Yeah.
2-liter bottles are the worst.
Is Sprite for being sick? Is that like a white person thing?
I remember 7-Up, flat 7-Up. I remember hearing when I was a kid.
But having because like I literally cannot have 7-Up or Sprite because it's just
7-Up is 100% associated with me being sick.
Yes, it's me being associated. It's that flavor. Any sort of like that sort of flavor is
so not ginger ale for you. It's Sprite then.
Nope, it was Sprite, and I don't really like ginger ale. That's associated with like my grandpa or something. I love ginger beer. Ginger ale's garbage. I don't know why the word's ginger in there. It doesn't taste like
ginger ale for me is associated with sick because that's like the airplane drink. I always I'm not feeling good.
Yes, it is like you get on an airplane, you get a ginger ale.
Here's my secret. I love my favorite soda is a Coke on an airplane. There's something about this. Maybe
that's fair.
That's valid.
Because it's not flat exactly. It's not exactly flat, right? Like I've had flat Coke. That tastes different because it's like I don't know what it is, right? It's like there's actually like different types of bubbles and carbonation, or like champagne carbonation
it's
versus
just carbon dioxide, but it's also that you have the Boyle's Law situation happening up there.
Yes, exactly. So it's like it's still the carbon dioxide's still in there, so it still has like the carbon dioxide flavor, which has its own flavor, but it's not like bubbly. There's something about airplane fucking Coke that I love. It's like my favorite thing. I hate flying, but the moment I get on the airplane, I'm like, yo, just give me a Coke like every hour. Come back, bring me more of these Cokes.
Okay.
So if you, by the way, for ginger ale, if you want a ginger ale that like kicks you in the teeth in the way that ginger ale used to be, I highly recommend. It's the one called Blenheim's, which is from from South Carolina. The red caps. It is when you're like, oh, I can do ginger ale. Like think like so the mildest ginger ale out there right now is probably Bundaberg, which is I like, but I think it's the absolute wrong drink. Too sweet for it. I'm not an alcoholic drink guy, but I see so many craft bars throw Bundaberg into their like their alcoholic drinks.
If you throw like Bundaberg into a fucking alcoholic drink,
you might as well just do
your
simple
bar
syrup.
Over, you piece of shit.
You might as well just do simple syrup.
Yeah,
you might as well just do simple syrup and soda water. It is like because it doesn't add anything to it other than just like a baseline sweetness to it. I do like it as a sipping ginger ale, but if there's the access of like On one end, there's Bundaberg. Far on the other side of the equation is Blenheim. It is like spicy and like it'll fuck your sinuses. It's like a real ginger ale. So if you ever had Blenheim, Red Cap, really, really good.
Freddie always likes to ask, maybe this is a good thing to ask you, Sungwon, Freddie, because I've now finally figured out my answer. It's always like, if you were to become a billionaire, what's like the absurd shit? Like, what's the thing that you would do that everybody's like, you couldn't do this unless you're a billionaire? I've now decided that for me, it'd be you'd come over and I would serve you like a cup that's like sealed, and then when you pop it, it's like what is that? It's like, hi, I'm serving you a Coke that is at the altitude of an airplane. I'd like find a way to have like a mug, or maybe it'd have to be a whole chamber that I could just drink Coca-Cola as if it was at the same pressure.
Chamber.
Yes,
holy
barometric
shit!
chamber, specifically just for Coke.
That is Matt. That's some next level crazy shit. Because like, right? Imagine a restaurant that was like, this dish must be enjoyed at 14 pounds per square inch, and like you walk into a room and they repressurize it because of that. Like, that's the level of I love that. That's insane.
That's a good restaurant. Actually, that would be, you'd have to come up with some clever name. But yeah, the idea that like this restaurant is simulated to be as if you're on like top of Everest or something, and like all the food tastes differently and stuff. Damn. Yeah, so that would be mine.
What is your answer?
What would you do if it like $10 billion just right now?
Well, what's your answer, Freddie? Before I have to think about it.
Oh, I would do. I have. Okay, so I'm actually thinking of starting an entire podcast.
Which says a lot about him.
So I would create, this is the main one that I would do, is I wanted to create a theme park called Scary Park. And Scary Park is a scary theme park.
You didn't pay anybody to help you come up with that name, though.
No. But listen, yeah, it's important. No, it's important. It's part of it. Scary Park is important. It's important that you know what you're getting into, because this theme park is a scary theme park, not based on monsters or jump scares. It's based on our real fear, which is the only fear we have in a theme park, which is catastrophic mechanical malfunction of roller coasters. So all the rides are designed to be like, you get up to the top and then like your harness comes loose. And then you're just like, whoa, whoa, and you have to pull it down. Now, secretly, right behind the scenes, it won't go until everyone like freaks out and pulls theirs back down. But for just a second, you think that you might die. Like we have like, for example, another detail, for example, would be like, it might close every night at 8, but secretly it closes every night at around 6, because at some point someone quote unquote will die in the park and they have to evacuate everyone. All of the employees
teenagers like just sleep at the wheel.
Yeah, all the employees operating the ride appear to be stoned, appear to not be paying attention. Secretly, of course, they're not. They're just actors in place. But you're like, is it okay? Can we go? And like everything, height limits are just wrong. Like, but the liability would be out of control, which is why I would need to be a billionaire. I could probably run it for about a month before I'm sued to oblivion. But Scary Park would go down in history as the scariest theme park of all time, because you'd be afraid of your feet getting cut off by a cable.
A good one, a really easy one, would be right when like the roller coaster starts going up. You have somebody come out from like the office, like screaming like, stop that car, like I can't, and then you go, you turn the corner, like just do shit like that.
No. You just and it's the most stressful experience. Like the whole time you're just like, I don't want to get food. I'm afraid we're gonna get food poisoning. And now, assuming that I don't have, now this may actually be a greater than $1 billion idea, because it's such a legally liable like sort of situation. The other thing I would do is I would fund and create the world's first roller coaster that has a jump.
Okay. Yeah.
Like straight up, this roller coaster jumps, dude. And it's like, what are you doing? And it's like, fuck yeah, you want to ride it, motherfucker?
To be fair, if you could solve that engineering problem, if you could solve that and make it safe enough to be, to pass whatever the approval process is for a roller coaster, that theme park would fucking explode.
Yeah.
Like thrill seekers would go there so fast. Like the whole like community and culture of like roller coaster enthusiasts, like that place would go ape shit, because there's not been, remember like 10 15 years ago there was like that time period where it was like a fucking weapons arms race of roller coasters, like where it's like always about the newest, who's thrilling, like biggest drop.
Yeah, like
I can't think of the last
Ferrari
time
landed the Ferrari theme park.
Now you're hanging upside down. Oh, now it's the hanging upside down, but now you're standing up, and it's called the Riddler instead. Like it was all just like fucking new shit.
The other arms race was for acceleration speed, right? And the Ferrari like experience roller coaster was so fast that the people in the front car have to wear goggles and a helmet.
Wow.
Because like a bug will fuck you up.
Going back to Scary Park, I know that would work because, and I told the story on the podcast before, so I'll be brief. But basically, have you been to Animal Kingdom?
Yes.
Have you done the safari?
Yeah. The most like segmented like animal safari of all time. But yeah,
are you familiar with the bridge part?
it's been a while. So
Okay, so
remind me.
I believe this bridge part. So the whole man, if you're not familiar, you're in like a safari car when you're going through like basically a zoo, but it's like it's a safari. And like there's a part where you go over a bridge, and I looked this up afterwards, and apparently it doesn't always happen. Like it's like at maybe like 1 out of every 5 times. But we go across this like bridge, and like the person like was like whatever. But then whoever this Disney cast member was so good at acting. This was not like play acting, like, oh, watch out, guys, and here's the shaky. She was like, like she was. I was like, oh my god, are we actually? Is this the one time in 1,000?
We're gonna be on the news.
It's like, YouTuber ProZD dies in the safari car in Animal Kingdom, like the 1 in a million chance that this is happening, because her acting was so convincing to me, and the car starts to like almost tip over, that I genuinely thought we were gonna like at least get severely hurt. And we passed the bridge, and I was like to Amber, was like, was that part of the ride? She was like, yes. I was like the only person, I guess, who was like, no, I wasn't the only person because other people actually reacted. But I just felt like the biggest fucking fool.
Now here's the thing. Scary Park never blinks. Scary Park never blinks. You will leave being like, I think we'd almost die.
Here's a good one for your park, because it's easy, because two panes of glass underwater, you can't tell, right, if you have like 2 panes of glass, so you can make like a second bit. So do you have one of those tunnels where you can go like under like an aquarium, like a long underwater tunnel that's all glass, that you can see sharks and stuff, but you also have another layer that specifically is designed, you can just squirt water through holes like it's cracking. So like wait till people are like halfway through, and then have somebody scream like, oh my god, get out, and just start spraying water as if that place is actually breaking. People would lose their shit. Are you kidding? That'd be such a horrible way to die too. People would fucking die. Do what you do. You do the thing where you close the door to like a submarine. Like, you gotta go. Go. It's like I'm closing the door, so you're freaking out as they're slowly closing this metal door on you.
Oh my
so
god.
many people would die. Trampling,
from heart attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the liability would have to be like a whole day seminar where you have to fill out a lot of paperwork in order for this to even work.
So, if you got $10 billion, ignoring whatever, you fucking go to charity and help your family and shit like that. What is the thing that you would do that is just insane? That makes no sense, but you just have to do it because it's like, fuck it, I got all the money in the world.
So, I don't have any interesting answers off the top. I've been thinking, but like, for me, I'm such a boring person that I'm a collector, so it's just like I'll collect all the things, like collect one of every Lego set that has ever existed or something.
How empty would it be if you had $10 billion and you just like hired an assistant? You're like, hey, everything that's collectible, buy all of it, and then one day you just came into your room and you just had everything. Like,
but then you would have Legos to build for days. So I'm trying to think. Okay,
that's true. You
can
just play
Legos.
Here's another boring answer. Like, Every anime season sequel I've always wanted, I'll buy the studio.
Mm-hmm.
I'll buy the studio. Make it happen.
That's fun.
There you go. That's what I'm talking
about.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of shit I love. The idea of being like, you know what? The Matrix Reloaded sucks. I'm just gonna do the Matrix again.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hire everyone on.
Fuck we're gonna sign a petition for Game of Thrones. I'm not even gonna talk about Game of Thrones, but could you imagine if so let's say Jeff Bezos was really into Game of Thrones. He's like, redo season 7.
Redo.
Like,
redo.
no, like,
Jeff
oh yeah,
Bezos
really? No. How about
redo.
if I paid you $2 billion to redo season 7? Would you? It's like, well, of course they would. So then it's just like being that sort of person. Like, I'm just gonna make them redo a thing.
Bezos is such a fucking bozo to me, because if I was Bezos, it's like, okay, like, well, he likes food and space or whatever. I mean, that's fine. But like for me, if I was, for me, the giant nerd I am, if I had what he had and I could just, it's like, video game cheats your whole for your like your life.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay,
I'm gonna make. You guys know I like this anime Chihaya Furu. It's very obscure. Nobody likes it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fund its entire production of anime to the end. I'm gonna make an entire line of figures of every character in the show, even the most, and they're all like $200, whatever, like beautiful statues. I don't care. No one's gonna buy these. That doesn't matter. The product, I'll sell them. Like, you can buy them, but I don't care if anyone buys them or not.
It's for me. It's for you.
It's basically like
I agree. Billionaires are fucking cowards.
I would call up Nintendo and be like, hey, the new Mario game, you can play as Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Matthew. And they're like, okay, but like, just for your copy. Like, no. For me to give you the $2 billion, it must be included in every copy, and it's the default choice. So you have to actually scroll over to choose Mario. Like, otherwise, the entire world, from now on, there's just going to be me in every Mario game if you want this money.
Yeah, like
that's the sort of shit.
I would just buy Nintendo, and okay, Paper Mario games are good now. Because I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm the one who's calling the shots.
I'm the one.
Yeah.
I'm calling the shots now, motherfuckers.
There's so much power there. Like, and listen, if I'm gonna be a corrupt, billionaire, then I'm gonna do it in ways that are fun for me. Like, I'm gonna
Exactly. I want some flair.
But it is weird that you don't see any insane. I guess the closest is like SpaceX or whatever is like the closest to kind of like.
But that's like, but you know what? There's no. But SpaceX though.
But fucking
Ian, in order for
Musk
them
is so
to be
boring. My car's in space now. Fuck you. Yeah. That's the most boring. That's a fucking 10-year-old drew that shit. A car on a balloon in space. That's all you got.
Yeah,
that's
the problem. Is that because in order to become a billionaire, everything that they do is geared towards making money. Even SpaceX, you're like, this is geared towards making money, and it's like what you don't see is you don't see the thing that is for its own sake, but still in the public, right? It's one thing to be like, oh, I bought like a bunch of wine and so my wine sucks. It's like, no, you asshole. I want something crazy. I want something where it's just like, hey, guess what? Hey, did you hear? You don't get to go to Disneyland this year because Bezos lives there. Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean he lives there? Yeah, he lives in the castle, and that's it. He's running Amazon, but he's living in Disneyland Castle. Well, what about all the employees? They feed him. They keep everything open just for him. That's fucked up, dude. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, but he pays his money to do it, and I want that. That's at least a more interesting
You know
world.
what he could? If he wasn't such a big fucking coward, listen, fuck you, Jeff. Like, you know what I would do? I would just build my own copy of Disneyland somewhere else.
He built a copy.
Disneyland, but combine Disneyland, Disney World,
copy.
Tokyo Disney Sea. Just like all the parts I like. Like Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters. I don't need to recreate that one. I'm going to make a customized Disneyland.
He made custom Disneyland. Can you go? No, it's only him in this frame.
Yeah, exactly.
Opposite. Disney's like, you can't do that. It's like, okay, sue me. I got all the money in the world. Also, it's open for everyone for free. Just like, wait, but why? You want time? It's like, I played around for like a week. I'm bored now. So like, I don't know. I built this. Might as well let everybody else use it for free. Good luck, Disney. Good luck competing with that.
Dude,
I would actually just build. That's what I would do. I would build competing parks that look identical next to other theme parks, and then have them be free. And they're like, why did you do this? Do you have a problem with this? Like, nah. I don't know.
Nah.
If I could just socialize, I guess just socialize theme parks too. That's what I'm here for. That's what I've decided I want my legacy to be. Of all the things I could do with my money, I've decided just to make free versions of theme parks.
Just like reckless shit. It's like he dammed a river. Why? I don't know.
That's why we don't have a bill. I mean, this is the answer. I mean, that's why we don't have. For a number of reasons, but that's definitely one of them.
Damn.
Because you wouldn't wait. That's the problem with this sort of energy. You wouldn't have the discipline or the luck to get to the $10 billion mark. The moment I got like $100,000 out of nowhere, like, oh shit, I'm gonna try to make soda that tastes like it's from the airplane. It's like, wait, you should have invested that and made Amazon, man.
Oh, good. It's pressurized. It tastes different. Really. Oh my God.
Okay.
I've always felt, by the way, that everybody inside of them has a really interesting, really cool bar or restaurant. Bar or restaurant idea. To kind of bring it around, the idea of like our moonshot billionaire ideas plus our love of food. What is your weird bar or restaurant theme thing that you would want in this world? That if you could will into existence, you would will into existence. And I can start if you guys.
Oh no, please start. Yeah.
Yeah, because I will just say really quickly, Freddie says this many times on meetings, and he always prefaces it with "everybody's got this idea." What it really is that nobody has ever thought this, except for one time at a meeting, somebody had thought of this, and it was very exciting. But Freddie, I swear to God, I don't think anybody in the world thinks about.
I actually haven't. I actually have maybe a couple answers, but I'm curious to hear Freddie's.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody know.
So
this.
mine. So I have two, one of which actually kind of happened, so I have to lose it from the list. So honorable mention, I want to do a Wall Street themed Gordon Gekko bar called the Shot Market, which would have a ticker throughout the thing, and you have to dress up like a Wall Street 80s stockbroker, but the price of drinks fluctuates based on demand throughout the night. And then you can do specials where it's like it's Black Friday, like everything's really cheap. You can buy shares, you can like speculate on drinks. So it's like basically you're gamifying the process of getting drunk, which is probably super dangerous. Anyway, the Shot Market. So here's the one where I really like this one, but it will never, ever, ever, not for at least another 200 years, be at all okay to do. And you'll understand why almost immediately. So this one is a World War II themed bar where the moment the bar, because one of the things I think this solves is that there's no reason to go to a bar when it opens. This one, you can go when it opens. The World War II themed bar, when it opens, every hour is a year of World War II. And it happens in a compressed real-time basis. So drink specials come online based on real events of World War II. So the Battle of the Bulge, what was that? That was a bunch of American soldiers in a cold part of Belgium getting shelled by the Germans. That's Jaeger bombs in ice drinks, baby. Like all World War II themed drinks. And by the way, it starts in one section. When Pearl Harbor happens, War in the Pacific opens up. That's a whole new section.
Who is this for? who wants to be reminded of somber battles over time?
But that's why it can't happen while there are still...
No, it's not even about that, but like if somebody did that about the Crusades, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go, but like it's not just like Crusades themed. It's like they remind you, like, hey, there's a drink special because in this specific battle, an entire village was massacred. And here's the Jaeger bombs for
Historians and also weirdos, I think, would both. Like, I mean, I would go.
But then at the end,
I mean, I would go. To be fair to Freddie's point, like I would go. I'm a weirdo. Though.
Yeah.
And then here's the thing though. At the end of every year, it's like you celebrate the new year, you ring it in the new year, and then another year of war. Again, you can't do this while there's still like veterans from this war alive. This is again 200 years in the future. When by the way, we have medieval fucking times, Matt.
Yeah, but
medieval people want to be reminded by the fucking medieval warfare.
No, but what you're proposing is not like a bunch of people 200 years later, a bunch of people dressed up in like semi-authentic, like but pretty much historically inaccurate, like fancy dress from the 40s with like airplanes hanging overhead, and people be like, "Whoa, check out this Kraut and this American like shoot each other. Everybody drink up." You're talking about going through the historical timeline of a series of events and then having people drink based off of those situations.
Yeah,
it's a very different vibe than medieval fucking times. I didn't come out medieval times being like, wow, now I really understand the War of the Roses.
And I feel the weight of all these events.
But yeah,
hey, man, listen, I think here's all I'm saying is this. I think that we as human beings are searching for more and more intense experiences in our lives as things get homogenized, as all of our whims get decided upon and are studied by AI, and we can get whatever we want on Amazon. I think we're going to search for more extremes, right? In the same way, by the way, and what I point to is I think that like the feeling of an escape room, and granted now it's in a weird industry now, but the feeling of an escape room feels like something that is a step beyond the sock hops, a step beyond going to just play laser tag. Like, and I think that if you take that and extrapolate all that way out, I want to feel every year of World War II in a space and feel that out. Because imagine how much of a party VE Day is, right? Like victory in Europe. And that's this huge ticker tape. And it's like you get to anyway,
they should do it that also like every hour that a new year happens, they should just like randomly kick out like 20% of the people to represent like the number of casualties there were. So then when you do make it a V Day, it's actually special. Like you do sometimes you go like, yeah, I've never made it a V Day. Every time I go, I'm just I die.
Sorry, are we
a
fucking
lot of people died in this tragic war.
Fortniting restaurants now? That's
yeah. Okay. All right, what's your? I don't have a good bar. The song one. Did you think of something while Freddie was?
I don't have a good, like it's a mistake. Okay, when the guy is like, everybody has this. I'll go first. His is gonna be like the really interesting one. It's basically, I have this idea. You guys have it, right? Okay.
I'm sorry, that's not being a bad podcast.
No. I love hearing your ideas, and it challenges
I
me
don't think I have one.
to try to come. Oh, do you have one?
No, I do not. I said I
okay.
do not have one.
The only thing I can think of that even remotely answers your question of like the idea of a restaurant. This is not like super interesting, but I actually had this thought pretty recently. We like ordered from some restaurant, and it was very, very just blah. And it was just like the whole concept was like, like kimbap style wraps, right? Just like seaweed wrapped around shit. And then I'm like, why is there not in America like a huge novelty kimbap like chain or something like that? I think that could absolutely take off. If you like,
I could see.
Yeah,
that.
if you had like, let's say you had, okay, we go for legitimate stuff. Yeah, you have your classic kimbap. Okay, maybe you like let's do 탕수육. Let's do like a Korean kalbi or something. Let's do with that. But then like BLT. Like, just like
that's great. This is great. This is great. You know what it is? It's what would your food truck be? This would be a fantastic food truck.
This is okay. Yeah,
right?
This would absolutely be my food truck. It's like, just come up with like good, solid ideas that taste good. Make half the menu, legit Korean stuff. Half it just crazy novelty shit. Yeah,
yeah. You do like poutine. You do like a poutine one. You do a poutine one, which is like, right, like French fries and gravy. And like you do like maybe a protein in there as well, but it's like a poutine based one or something like that has that like, and you just pull the regional favorites, man.
Yeah.
Like a Hawaiian one, like a Mocha Loco one, like
that's good as hell.
Oh, that sounds amazing. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, like, if no one's ever gonna, I'll do it one day. I don't know. I'm just like, no one's gonna like if this unnamed. I won't name this restaurant, but if this restaurant is in business and it's just absolute like the most bare minimum dog shit, and it's still like operating and succeeding, I'm like, yo, you
guys should tell us what this restaurant is.
Sure, I'll tell you after. Yeah, I'm just like, you bring up the quality like a couple notches. It would,
dude. You do like a pizza. You do like a pizza kimbap, right?
Yeah, pizza kimbap or like fucking spam, like spicy spam.
Oh, and easy.
Stew.
By the way, easy one right now. Thanksgiving, the entire Thanksgiving meal. You do stuffing, you do a little slice of turkey, a little bit of cranberry sauce in there, and it's rolled up. Oh my god! And you could even go crazy. You could really chop up the bread. So instead of rice grains, you do like it's stuffing around the sides of it, right? Like or whatever. You could go crazy.
Yeah. And like, so I know like in Korea they have like specialty kimbap stuff, but like not to the level of like super like novelty, like like weird stuff. I believe anyway. Yeah. So I think there's absolutely.
I think this is a great idea.
Absolutely a market for that.
If that fucking Ike sandwich place can have like 400 different sandwiches with like all their special sauces or whatever, you absolutely could be like, listen, we're doing crazy meals in this handheld format. Like I think that's brilliant, and it also feels like different than sushi because sushi just feels like it's gotten so down this road of like it has to be this fish thing, it has to be like and it's a very specific thing. But being able to be like, listen, this is it's a weird kind of fusion cuisine, but we're doing all this cool stuff in this form factor. I think it's great. That's a fantastic food truck.
All right.
Here's my idea. This is probably only for me, but since Freddie said we all have to come up with here's my thought. I realize, like, one, I don't like bars very much. It's like, if I want good beer, I can get it elsewhere and cheaper. And then in terms of, like, the communal aspect, like, it's, to me, the worst place to have a conversation. It's fucking loud and gross and dirty, and you got drunk people around. The only time I ever think about wanting to go to a bar is when it's romanticized in movies and, like, noirs and stuff. So, like, mine would be more like, this is almost like a theatrical experience also. It's a pseudo.
Yeah, perfect.
You can only enter by yourself. You get seated at a bar. And you can order whatever is normal, and they always space people apart. And at some point, somebody's gonna walk in, and it'll like, and maybe it's like themed at different times during out the week, or maybe it's always like a noir. And they come in, and the person sits down, and this is also they can smoke because it's important that they can smoke in the bar. And they say, "Hey, can I buy you a drink?" And that person just starts talking, and you find yourself like in the middle of like a detective movie or like a romance.
I love it.
The person just starts. You hire good actors, and they just start talking like, "Hey, man, can I buy you a drink?" And then there's like a woman or whatever, all the different things, and you just get this like crazy story from this person, and it's all just like kind of a targeted. So it's like you get to feel like the random person like at this. Like,
yes, I love it. That's so cool.
That's great.
Oh, that's so cool. Just that feeling, because that's what you're going for. You're trying to get like a feeling. You're trying to capture that again. I love it.
I want somebody to come with like a fedora and a trench coat, and they just like drop it down, and like they know the bartender by name, and they pull out a cigarette and they look at you. It's
yeah,
like,
and
hey,
you're
what
just
you
like
doing
in the
here?
middle.
It's almost
like a little one act play happens in this bar, and you just happen to be in the right. It feels like you were just in the right place at the right time for something amazing.
And you could actually talk. It might even like weirdly for some people be like these like weird like almost pseudo therapy sessions, because like the actors gonna have to be very good at responding to you if like people just want to talk to the actors. Like,
That's good.
But yeah, you just essentially get to be in this like
You know what was almost that, by the way, was the Adventure or the Explorers Club or the Adventurers Club in Disney World, Matt, had that vibe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why. And there's a reason why people fucking loved it. And my friend, who was a big Disney guy, like took me there before it closed. And it's the theming of it. They make fun of it in the South Park, in one of the South Park episodes. But the theming of it is like this is a British colonial explorers club where there's a bunch of different people who bring stories from all around the world here, hanging out one night, and it's all kind of these like, ooh, I have this artifact, and they'll show you these like things that they got in their travels and stuff, and it's just like and there's like 6 or 7 like character actors going around, musical numbers and stuff. It's this very themed out experience. I really think there is room for that kind of themed out feeling in that experience. I think that I don't think you're far off at all. I think a lot of people would be into that idea.
Right. I mean, I was just about to say
LA
before
thing.
Freddie said that, like you're basically describing like a really talented Disney cast member, like that. What kids get out of like Disney characters there. Like I absolutely think there is a market for like just like you want like a cool theme, get a really good actor to just and there could be themed different nights or different. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Well, I think we got some projects we got.
All right, let's buckle down and get.
We'll start with that World War II one though. That's the surefire
I think that's the one.
Well, okay. Here's my real
one
one that would actually sell. Here's my easy real one that would sell. You call it Recess. It is all recess games outdoors. You have you have your 4-square tournament going on. You have tetherball. All the food is just kind of slightly nicer versions of like square pizza and like fish and chips and stuff. And all your drinks are kind of just, the idea is it feels like you're taking a break. It's a recess thing. You go, you take a break. It works as a food truck. It also works as like a outdoor-indoor hybrid sort of location that has recess games, wall ball, stuff like that, and it encourages socialization. And all the food is like, square pizza, baby.
Chocolate
square
milk
pizza
cartons.
and like milk-based chocolate milk-based drink, right? It comes from you see it pour from a carton. It's like a chocolate milk-based like drink. I don't even drink. I think that would work. It fucks you up though, dude.
Damn.
And there's a kid, and there's a Pogs. Pogs is happening in the corner. Like, you can buy Pogs to go in and participate and all that stuff. And then in the back corner, there's a bunch of kids who are doing that thing. A bunch of people doing that thing where, like, I don't know if you guys did this, where you hyperventilate and then someone closes off your carotid artery and you pass out for like 10 seconds. That was like super dangerous, and kids in my school definitely did that growing up.
They did not in mine. What the fuck are you talking about?
You're gonna find there's gonna be people who be like, oh yeah, that was a thing. Administration had to cut down on that shit.
Very interesting. Okay. One last thing.
All right.
I mean, I feel like we could just go on and on, but one last thing. Just if you have because we were starting this with like hot takes, right? Food hot take, just one to drop. Just one to drop.
Food hot take.
Food hot take, just to drop on the table, like a big dookie.
I got a
yeah.
good one.
What?
You
What do you got? What do you got?
People who like Chick-fil-A don't actually like chicken sandwiches. They have no idea what they're doing.
Wow. As someone who is morally opposed to Chick-fil-A, I love Chick-fil-A sandwiches.
All Chick-fil-a is
Chick-fil-A
done.
is good.
Took a bunch of cardboard ass potato fries, waffle fries done poorly, by the way. Jack in the Box does it better. Carl's Jr. does it better. A bland ass chicken sandwich, and you were dazzled by what? 8 different sauces? That's all it took. I was dazzled by
one good sauce.
And that's the Chick-fil-A sauce. But listen, I'm not going to praise Chick-fil-A too much because fuck them.
Yeah,
but
yes, that's the problem.
No,
also don't eat there anymore.
So for you, what is... Well, I'm asking you another question, but that's fuck it. What is the best chicken sandwich at a chain?
Popeyes chicken sandwich. Like, for a chain, widely available, the new Popeyes is a crazy good.
It is good. It is good. Okay.
So much a hot take. I guess I would just say I I think bread pudding is the best type of cake, more than fudge, brownies, cake. I think most cake sucks. Like if it's dry, if you're touching bread that's sweet and your hands aren't wet afterwards, get the fuck out of there. Like it should be moist. Like that's why brownies are good. Brownies are fucking moist. But like dry ass cake, like dulce de leche cake, fucking delicious. But yeah, I love bread pudding. I wish bread pudding was more of a thing here. I wish it was like fucking everywhere. I wish every place had bread pudding. I love bread pudding. It's not really so much a hot take as just me thinking about how I just want to eat some bread pudding right now.
I asked this question.
You must have one. You must have a spicy take that you want to drop on the table.
No, I'm not a Freddie. I asked this question, but I didn't actually have an answer prepared. That was like really good.
Can't take the heat. Stay out of the fire, baby.
No. I'll think of something. So I'll sometimes I'll literally just like sit down with people, and we'll just go, hey, just name a food, and we all just say what rank it out of 10, and then we just see where the fights happen, right? Like you don't like that, you like that.
I'm just looking at controversial food opinions on Twitter. Oh, okay. Here's one. This is one.
Yeah, what's up?
Twitter that people got pissed about that I agree with, but maybe because I'm just fucking basic. Flour tortillas are superior to corn tortillas, which I know is probably blasphemy. But you know, I have an entire. Right. I have a. Huh?
I said, yeah, that's wrong. That's not right. Yeah.
No, that's totally. I fucking love flour tortillas. So I hate corn tortillas. I've even had like
I'll come in with a galaxy brain take here. Like depends on what you're wrapping that shit around, my dude.
Like what? There's nothing. I've never had a thing like even like street tacos. I'm like, give me a flour tortilla instead. But I mean, there's certain obviously corn tortilla.
Certain street taco fillings I like. For example, I like the wetter, like sort of. No, there's some of the street taco fillings I do prefer. Like I prefer like an al pastor corn pairing with the pineapple over a flour pairing because I don't think it brings anything to it. Corn has a flavor to it, and corn adds a.
I say you can't wrap anything with corn. If you're wrapping,
I think you're right.
Insane. That's too much.
I think anybody who hates flour tortillas has only had shitty Mission packaged flour tortillas. A good
Sonora
flour
Town
tortilla,
and shit,
or La Azteca,
yes,
which one of my favorite. The best chili relleno brio like in the world as far as I'm concerned, like or any of the great places up in San Francisco, La Taqueria, like all those fucking places are great flour tortillas there.
All right, here's mine. This is not interesting, but it's the one I can think of because Thanksgiving just passed, and this is not like a mind-blowing one, but I am one of those folks where turkey to me is a complete waste of time. I hate
turkey sucks. I'm with you.
We're with you on
that.
Okay.
Sucks.
I get a lot of shit sometimes when I share this one, but
this world would be a better place if we just had chicken for Thanksgiving. Just fucking give me a chicken.
Do you realize the number? Because I looked into this because I cooked a whole Thanksgiving feast like just because I wanted to continue trying working my cooking techniques. The amount of bullshit you have to go through to try and get turkey to a place that's good versus like anything normal, like anything anything. Fuck turkey. Turkey's garbage.
Okay. So
you know why people like it? You want why people liked it? Because it had a lot of meat, so they didn't have to do as much work for it back in the day. So it's a lazy. It's slow.
It's easier to kill than a buffalo, and it's a lot of meat. Like it's a big fat dumb bird with a lot of meat. Yeah, it was for fucking survival.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll think of one immediately after the podcast is done and be like, "Oh, that one was better."
Yeah, well, you save that shit for Twitter. Get those.
That's true.
Harvest that hatred.
Gotta
grow
that audience. Get those numbers.
Get them numbers, bro. That engagement.
Speaking of social media, where can people find you guys?
You can find me at FWONG, FWONG, on Twitter. And Matt, where can we find you?
I'm at Matt L. Arnold on Twitter. That's the hell social media platform that I've decided to waste most of my life on. So
and together we are both co-hosts and players on two podcasts as well. One called Story Break with our friend Will Campos, where we come up with movie ideas, pitches for movies in a single sitting. We did a very stupid cyberpunk one recently, Cyberpunk 21776. So we're 20,000 years in the future, and secretly about the founding of America again. Very stupid and very funny. And we also are players on a show called Dungeons and Daddies, which is a improvised Dungeons and Dragons podcast about four dads from our world flung into the Forgotten Realms in a quest to rescue our lost sons. It's about dads, and we play Dungeons and Dragons poorly. but it's fun. It's a good one.
Thank you for joining me on this food podcast.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you. It's been nice talking.
No, yeah, it's been great. And I will absolutely have you guys on in the future just to talk about probably food again. I don't know.
Name anything. I will go for years on some stupid topic. It's my favorite thing to do.
This was fucking great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks so
you.
much.